Good morning, everybody. How are you? We made it through to Friday. How about that? What's on your agendas today? I've just had to have a little giggle to myself on the messages that we've got coming in. Mrs. H999 says, I'm looking forward to this. Okay. And then our lovely Kaz W, she suggests her bank manager has messaged her and says she's not allowed to watch us anymore. Okay.
Don't tell them until after this show, though.
Let's watch this show first. You've got a bit of guidance. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So here we are, Highlight Crafts live shopping on your social media platforms. So where to watch and how to shop. Now, we know you're already there because I've just said a quick hello to some of you. So on Facebook and Instagram, it's super easy. Our lovely Andrew that is in the driving seat will scroll through all of the products that are on the show on the screen, and you will have to type shop first, then the code. You must type in shop. So at the moment on this, well, it did say shop fashion. Okay. And you type that into the comments as if you're talking to one another. You will then get a direct message from us. When you're ready for checking out your basket, just click on any of those messages. In there is a link. The wizardry happens. You go to your shopping basket on the website, you log in, you check out. Super easy. You can also watch us on YouTube. If you've never seen us on YouTube before and you do go along there, please give us a little subscribe because it, Andrew gets very excited about that. And then you can also watch us live on our website. How about that? That's a bit cool. So over on highlightcrafts.com, you go to the live section, click the play button that is on there, and you can watch along with us and you never miss anything. Now, shopping on there is slightly different because all of the products that you see on the show are down the side of your screen. So you can scroll up and down all those products and go, oh, I like that. Click on the item that you like, add it to your basket. You build your basket there on the screen. Once you've actually ready and you want our lovely packing ninjas next door to send all your goodies out to you, click on the shopping bag icon, you log in and you check out, which is fantastic. Now remember, all the prices that we're giving you on the show is before you're then getting your discount. So whenever you get to the checkout, the price will always be lower than what is reflected on the show, which is that super cool, isn't it? If you're not already a member, you can become a member at checkout. You put your email, your name, and I think your date of birth, and you're good to go. Then log in and check out, and you'll get your bonuses and your discounts straight away. Your minimum, right at the very beginning, is at least 5%. So why would you not? Because it doesn't cost you anything. You get all the benefits. So here we are with, I've got scrapbooking lesson number 1 with our Mel. It says on here, because I'm going to write down as much as I possibly can from this, because this is Mel's like bread and butter as it was to start off with. Hi. And we're a bit excited because we're bringing you Graphic 45.
Now then, we haven't got a lot of this. It's something that we've managed to get, but when it's gone, and it's definitely not coming back. So if you're a Graphic 45 lover, I would grab it now. We've got some incredible prices on this. This was £35 by itself.
Yes.
And it's just a phenomenal deal. But the first thing I want to go to in the show is another amazing deal. So you're going to get 10 sets of your double-sided tape from DIY Doctor. It's a tissue tape, so it's perfect for your scrapbooking. You can pull it off and reposition it. If you get something in the wrong place, you can get it off. So if you're putting this on the back of your photographs, if you've got or even your finger, an adhesive eraser or your finger, you can roll that tape back, and it's not going to damage any of your photographs because it's acid and lignin free. What does that mean? Well, it means that there's no acid in the tape because acid will travel. And that's why when you've got your old photograph albums, those that you used to open up and they had the cellophane on. Yep. And now all that glue's going yellow, that's the acid. The best way to get those out of there is to warm it with a hairdryer, get a piece of dental floss and come underneath it. Then it doesn't damage the back of your photograph. Now, normally these are £9.99 each. We're giving you 10 sets. Now in each roll, you're going to get 1/4 of an inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1 inch roll. There is 28 meters on each roll. So you will have 30 rolls with 28 meters on each one. That's 84 foot.
That's a lot.
84 foot times 10. 840 foot.
Yeah. That'll
And
keep you going for a
on
couple
one
of days.
roll. That's just
on one. Yeah. A week.
It'll last you a bit.
Yeah.
Type Friday to win a prize. Don't know what the prize will be, but Type Friday. Right, Amanda, shall we get stuck in?
This is...
Can I come on that side?
Yes,
Then I can get to the
absolutely.
product.
Being able
you.
to bring you, like Mel said, there's not a lot of
No.
this, but Graphic 45 is amazing, okay? Stunningly beautiful papers. It's like one of those things that whenever you've purchased it, or we've purchased it, you buy two because you have one to use and one to look at and stroke.
Laura's looking at me like I'm bonkers.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
it's
you?
amazing.
Have you smelt this one though? Right, smell that one, Laura. It smells like an old bookshop, doesn't it? Yeah, they do that on purpose. It's brilliant, isn't it? And the reason it's called Graphic 45 is because Diana, the lady who owns the company, went back to university at the age of 45 to do a graphic design course. That's why it's called Graphic 45. And it's been, I mean, it's massive, a huge brand worldwide. But what I love about this is, first of all, when you turn this over, turn that the right way around for you, you've got templates. So you've got tag templates, you've got gift tag templates, and you've got a template for 4x6 card. So that can be really, really useful for you. All the papers are double-sided, so I'll split this down and turn them over so you'll get to see one of each. So that's your first size. And I like papers like this for scrapbooking. Papers like that, for me, are too busy because the photograph just sinks into the background. But plainer ones, and you'll see what I'm going to do as I go through the shows, I love scrapbooking with. For me, it isn't about making a pretty page. It's about leaving a legacy of what it was like to live your life for future generations of your family that you will never meet. And I started scrapbooking because my grandma, when she passed away, she was 99, and she'd kept everything. Every single card that grandchildren had bought her with flowers, all the newspaper clippings from the business, newspaper clippings from when Andrew and Susie were swimming at secondary school, all of that she kept. But what really, really brought it home to me was in the kitchen, because she had Alzheimer's at the end of her life, she started to tear photographs, so we took them out. We took them to our house rather than leaving them there. But when we were emptying the kitchen, that she always had china teacups, my grandma, and a saucer. And when I looked inside one, there's a little like passport photograph, really tiny. And I said to my mum, "Who's this?" She said, "Oh, that's your grandma's brother that was killed in the First World War." I had no idea about that. And now I couldn't ask her. And that was a real, oh, I've got goosebumps, look at me.
Too.
That was a real eye-opener for me. And then, hot off the press, Paulette Jarvie came over from hot off the press and introduced 12x12 papers and scrapbooking, and my whole creative journey changed because I went from fabric to paper, and that changed everything. And then there were 2 shops in Blackburn, and I went into 2 craft shops, and the first one I went in and I said, "I'm after some scrapbook papers." She said, "Oh, do you scrapbook?" I said, "I do, yeah." She went, "You fancy doing some classes?" I was like, yeah, why not? So we started the classes, and then I came out of that shop, went to the other craft shop, walked in, and Anne said to me, "Oh," she said, "I haven't seen you in a while." I said, "No, I've just been to buy some scrapbooking stuff." She went, "Do you do scrapbooking?" I was like, "Yep." "Do you fancy teaching it?" "Yep." So I ended up doing 2. I used to do them on Sunday mornings, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and just go between the 2 shops. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And especially now, because we lived through a pandemic, we are going to be a massive part of history. And you need to memorialise that. And if you don't tell that story, nobody else will. And you don't even need photographs, because sometimes, you know, there's a saying, isn't there, a picture speaks 1,000 words. It doesn't. It doesn't. So you can make a scrapbook page with a lovely photograph on, but unless you tell them the who, what, where, when and why, so the 5 W's, You won't, it's just, they'll still open it, it'll look prettier, but they still won't know who they are.
There's no story.
There's no story. Absolutely. And that's why I personally scrapbook. So for example, my grandchildren never met my mum and dad. So I write Dear Alice and Jack, and I write it to them as a letter from me. I date them, and I tell them, I also write where I was, why I was doing it, and what I was doing it for. So they've got all of that information, because I never want them to be able to go to their great-grandchildren and go, oh, I love these photographs, but I've no idea who they are, because that would just break my heart.
For me personally, I never met my mum's parents, and there's no pictures of them.
No.
I have no idea.
I'm like that with my grandma.
My grandma and my granddad, on my mum's side, no idea. Some of my aunties that I met some of them, a few of them, but not all of them.
No.
I've got a whole tribe of our family over in America, and I thought, right, I am going to do a bit of journaling. I'll go and do a bit of family history. Knew where this auntie was that was talking. She died a week before. No. So I'd lost it all, lost everything. I've got no way of contacting them. So yeah, it is really important.
Okay, so you're getting that twice. Okay. Then you're going to get the coordinating background papers. So if I do this, I'll do it that way. You'll be able to see these then. So look how, I'm just going to lay it down, I think, stand it up. No, I'm going to do it that way. Right, so, not good at this pick and flip malarkey.
That's the first set.
Yeah. So you're getting all your different papers in here. And I love this because some of them are solid colour, but they have that pattern in the background. The main reason that people scrapbook across the world is holidays. And this is all about your journeys and your personal journeys too. And I love that because sometimes, we all have days when we're in a bit of a low mood. If you can write that down and get it out of your head onto a piece of paper, that's one of the best things that you can do. It's interesting because I've been listening to a couple of podcasts with Davina McCall when I'm driving here or going home. And it's really interesting. And she said, because she was diagnosed with a brain tumour, wasn't she? And she said that, when she went into the hospital, there were a lot of people there that were writing journals and writing down their story and their feelings. And the other thing that you get from that is you can look back and go, do you know what? Look how far I've come, right? So it's that constant reminder that you are on that journey and it's your journey and what will be, and just try and live in the moment and just be now. And that's the lovely thing about it. So that's your papers. You're getting that included. Then, we haven't finished yet. This is $29.99. Why would you not now? I'll tell you what else. We've got a brand new desk storage coming of MDF tomorrow. This would be fabulous for that.
My Gideon.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, now then you've got your stickers. Now, when we talk about black, and it pulls itself back and it pushes everything else that's on top of it forward. Mm-hmm. That's why Graphic 5 use black a lot, or a dark background colour, because it makes those colours vibrant, pop, and it makes it more interesting, I think. So stickers, we'll be using those as we go through. Mm-hmm. Then, we haven't finished yet either. You're going to get all of these. Life is not a journey, it's a destination. Get lost. Find yourself. Love that. Get lost, find adventure. All of the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt. Proper made me laugh. The sky's the limit. Find your journey or enjoy your journey. You've got one on a bike. You've got spokeswoman, which I'm going to use because my mum's on a bike. Well, I've got photographs of my mum on a bike. And you can see all of these. Now you're getting 2 of each of these. And these are double-sided. So on the other side of them, you've got a place for your journaling. And I'm going to talk to you about journaling in this hour because I can hear you already going, yeah, but I don't like my handwriting, Mel, it'll spoil it. It's not about making a pretty page. It's about leaving a legacy. That's what it's about. And when we went on the scrapbook course in America, we were taught by a guy called Shane Hershey, and he was blinking fabulous. He was 5'4" high, tall, and 5'4" wide. Oh, yeah, it was brilliant. And he had a laugh once he started laughing, the whole room. And I actually said, we need to make a Shane doll that when you squeeze its tummy, it giggles like that, because as soon as he started, the whole room went. And I can't remember what I was telling you. Scrapbooking, journaling. And he said, if Anne Frank had sat in that cupboard and thought, I'm not writing my diary because I don't like my handwriting, we wouldn't have that story, that lesson from history. And that's, for me, is why it's really important. And I saw my dad's real handwriting for the first time ever, because he taught himself to write in italics, because the university lecturer said to him, there's no way that the examiners board are going to read your handwriting like that. So he taught himself to write italics. So for me, that was always the thing. But yeah, it's really interesting when you start scrapbooking and the memories that come back. It's absolutely wonderful. Right, so you've got all of that lot as well. And then, well, tickets, clocks, tags, speech bubbles, frames, there's tons. Absolutely tons. Even these little tiny pieces they've put in. Look at these, just tiny little pieces. So you're getting all of this on top of that. Now, $29.99 is less than you would normally pay for that. Okay, we've got 4 sets left. If you want it, please get it into your baskets so that you don't miss out. It's lovely. It's
beautiful.
Really, really
Absolutely
lovely.
gorgeous.
Right, let's move on to the next one now. So now this is really different. Now, what do we call those collections that we do with the animals?
The family favourites.
Family favourites. Got family favourites? Mm-hmm. This is going to be brilliant for that. Now, there's no pattern papers with this set. This is what they had, so this is what we got. These are all your textures. So you've got your zebra print, but in pinks. Mm-hmm. You've got, I love that colour.
Why would you not have a pink zebra?
Well, exactly. You've got, look, life is a kaleidoscope. Imagination, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Absolutely, it does. Amen to that, indeed. But I like these because you get the planes on the other side. So if you have got pattern papers, or you've got a lot of photographs, or you want to include your die cuts, this is going to be perfect for that.
This would be perfect if you have been on that safari holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah,
this is perfect, perfect for that.
And think about your bookbinding tool that we bring you. You know, making your own books, your own albums would be great. On top of that, you're also going to get your chipboard. Now, these are expensive,
They are.
right? They're really expensive because they're a really good quality board. And you want that. You don't want something that's going to fall apart. And then you're going to get all your journaling cards. In fact, to speed the process up a bit, I'm going to show you these. And then I'll read some. Anything is possible. Can't read that one. Colour your world. Better together with the elephants. Isn't that lovely? And then I'm going to turn them around because I can't read them upside down. Imagination will take you anywhere. Anything is possible. Life is a kaleidoscope of colour. Fantastic fantasy. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. See the beautiful. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Here. Awaken. Fantastic fantasy, etc. So you're going to get all of that. I'm going to say that those would probably be, well, those two definitely together will be over $14.99.
Oh, well, that's $14.99 because I've seen it.
There you go. Right, so there you go. So you're not paying for those or that. Right, next. Now then, this is lovely.
It's gone.
Oh.
Gone.
Did tell you had to be quick, didn't I? We're not getting it back. Okay. So next. Now this is nice. If you just want some chipboard, £5.49, Amanda. Before your discount. How cool is that?
I know, right?
Fashion forward.
And it's beautiful.
These would be lovely on your MDF, wouldn't they? On your 3-dimensional pieces. They're fantastic. I can't get over that, £5.49, but I'll have it. And that's before your discounts. You've got fabulous Sunshine and Smiles, Happy Day, Très Chic. You've got Be Mine, and you've got lots and lots of different icons, and Lovely You. Isn't that nice? Lovely You. So that one, my lovelies, is shop board, and it's £5.49. Okay, moving on.
One at the front.
Oh yeah, one at the front. This is nice. Oh, this works with it. Oh.
Look at the colourway in here.
I know, Amanda. I can see it. Look at that. These are great, aren't they? Look at these.
These really are beautiful. Look at that.
Forever in my heart. Simply thank you. But look at all these embellishments. This is the bit, you know, when I talked to you about when I used to buy K&Co, and you used to get your album and all your bits and bobs. These were all the bits and bobs. And I love this because everything then coordinates together.
That's
now,
my
I could do a whole scrapbook page just with that.
Yes.
On my photographs. So if you want that one, Shop Fashion, $6.99 for that one, which is a good price again because you're getting a lot in there.
That's a lot.
Now then, this one is beautiful. Dreamland. Now, this again is the backgrounds of this. We've just had a real treat this morning, haven't we, Amanda? Because our lovely Andrew brought his daughter in to meet us for the first time, Quinn. Oh, she's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A right little dot, isn't she? She's lovely. Right, so on the back of this one, so this would be perfect for an album. Have you sorted any photographs out for me yet, Andrew? Nope. Bookmarks, file folders. They've even put the score lines in so that you can make it into a proper folder. ATC cards. You've got a gift tag pocket in this one and a template. You probably pay $14.99 if you bought those as plastic templates, but you're getting them in the back. And then you've got these. Now, these are perfect for scrapbooking, okay? Because they're, even though that's busy, it's just one colour with tints, tones and shades that go all the way through. And this is just fabulous.
Love this.
I love it too. This is one of my favourite collections that they've ever done because it is very dreamy. And it would really work nicely along with some of the more fantasy rice papers that we've brought you recently. But it's absolutely stunning. Get your die cuts out, get your scan and cut out and start scrapbooking because it's so important that you write down your life, right? Right, now then, we're going to do these letters. Hannah's going to kill me for this because these are supposed to be for her scrapbooking show tomorrow. Is she on comments? Anyway, this is ridiculous. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I know, right?
Right, let's put the price up on the screen for you. So you're going to get these plastic. They're not foam, they're plastic. Good grief. Shot Black is going to get you Explore,
Oh, just a minute.
Wander, Adventure. Not looking.
Intruder alert.
Then in this one, tell me what you've got. Oh, it does on the back. Look at that. Menu, goals, schedule, and to do. You're going to argue with me with her over a counter. You're going to come round and... Then in this one, you've got Adventure, Explore, Wander, and Travel. I'm not taking you on. Then we've got, oh, good grief. We've got Valentine, Easter, no, Hannah, Summer, and America. And then in this one, you've got Happy Birthday, Party, and Celebrate. They're all plastic, which is brilliant. And then you have a choice. You can either buy it with the black letters, or you can buy it with the white letters. Oh, we've got one with the white. No. You've got enough lovely stuff tomorrow. You've got resin.
I've got it. I'm going to go and get that now and have a play.
Go and get that now and have a play. Go on.
She's going to play now.
Be in trouble. So if you want all of those,
done.
these are really good as cake toppers as well as for scrapbooking.
All of that.
Brilliant, aren't they? Front of albums.
Yep.
All of that kind of thing. So if you want that, $14.99 is ridiculous.
Making a canvas.
I'd expect to pay more than that for that.
Absolutely. And
Right.
I would.
I would too.
Oh.
And it is stock.
That one's sold out.
White's gone.
Yeah, the white one's just allocated, so we've got 5 black left.
I'm thinking about these. You can paint them with your hybrid acrylics.
Of course you can.
So you can make them any colour that you want.
Absolutely.
Right? Brilliant, isn't it? Right, now the next thing that you're going to need is some photo paper. Okay, this is for inkjet. Photo paper will be acid and lignin free. So it's suitable for your inkjet printers. You're going to get premium glossy. You get 16 sheets in total, A4 because you're getting 2 packs. And then also A6 premium glossy, you're going to get 50 sheets of that. All of that for $14.99.
I've paid $12.99 just for that on its own.
Absolutely.
That is a true bargain.
Shall we go and do some scrapbooking?
Yes, please. I've got my notebook
Come on
ready.
then. Oh, and just before we go, just before we do, I want to talk to you about the deal we've got on the SDX 1200, please, because for a while now we've had it on at $4.99, and then you get your discounts, etc. off. What we've done is brought back an older deal that we did, where you've got your SDX 1200 for $4.99 before you discount, but you also get that tattered lace content. So you get all 24 issues of the Tattered Lace digital magazine with all of those files. It's tremendous value for money. And if you like scrapbooking, if you're serious about it, that is going to save you. Honestly, it's perfect. Think about if you wanted to do like a letter I with a notch at the top, a line down here, just in the middle of a 12 by 12. So you can tuck things behind it. It's brilliant for scrapbooking, and I use it all the time now because I'm passionate about it. Right, so let me tell you a little bit about what scrapbooking is for me. It's about my family never, ever, ever having to say, who's that? And I never have to say, I don't know. I really want people I want to leave my story, okay? So the first thing that we learned when we went on this course was matting and layering, and how that affects the card itself, how it affects the photograph. So I've done some here, and I've done this one first. So I've printed off exactly the same photograph. I'd like you to do this at home, actually. So, and this isn't just for scrapbooking, this is for your card making as well. So we've got a single photograph without an edge. Then what I've done with the next one is done a single one, but with a black marker around the edge. Amanda, can you just see if there's any white card under there for me, please? Then you can see it a little bit better.
There is.
Is there? Oh, actually, I've got some here right next to me. Ignore me. It's Friday, Laura. I'm getting old. I'm not like you.
Making notes.
Right, so you've got that one there, okay? Then you put that next to it, and it looks different already because you've got that line. I can't lift it up for you because I can't. Then you've got this one. Now, this is what we call, so you've got, well, let's do it this way. You've got your original photograph. You've got your photograph with just the line around it, which could be a foam mat and layer. And then we have the photograph, just a single mat. So very, very fine mat. Look at the difference that against that. Completely changes the look and feel of that photograph, doesn't it? It's amazing, isn't it? What?
Where are they from?
Photographs.
Those cards?
These are photographs. I've matted and layered them.
Oh.
Wow.
I got confused.
Wow. Look at it when you do a double mat. Look how it changes that. Isn't that amazing? Right, then, I'm going to lay these out now so that you can see them. Then, if you can do a triple mat, so a triple mat that has, I'm going to put this up here now and hold this up. Sorry, I can't decide which way to show you because I want you to really see the difference because it's important. Look at the difference between a single mat and a triple mat. Even though those mat layers are exactly the same width, look at the difference it makes. Look at the difference it makes to that one. Right? Cool, isn't it? And then we talked about something called a triple disproportionate mat. I know. You're going, well, what? A triple disproportionate mat. So you start with a photograph. You then do your single mat layer. You then may do a wider layer. And then you do your narrow again. Now, the narrower the mat, the more elegant it will look. Look at the difference between that and that. Night and day, isn't it? Now, if I was doing this and I had lots of photographs, you journal about what the photograph is about. So the story, the 5 W's. Who's in the photograph? What were they doing? Where were they? Why were they doing it? Who, what, where, when, and how? And all of those different questions come into your journaling. So I always imagine that my great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren are going, so who's this? I want to know who this is. And I'm like, well, this is this and this is this. And I write it in that style. So who, what, where, when, and why. So you mat and layer all your photographs. Now, if you're doing journaling and you want the journaling to be the most important part, and it's about this picture, you mat and lay your journaling in exactly the same way that you've done this. And whether you realise it or not, the human eye will automatically look for another one like this. And then you'll find it and it'll go, okay, so that links to that. If you did 2 with a double mat, that links to that. It's really clever, and it's not something that you even think about on a daily basis. But when you start to learn about line and colour and design and all those different elements that come into it, It's really interesting. Now, the other interesting thing, and I am going to do a double page spread for you, but the other really interesting thing, the best thing that I learned, because when we went to the course in America, we went to EK Success, you know, when we used to bring the punches and the circle scissors and all that, and they did a scrapbook course called Scrapbook Design University. And because we distributed, not here, I was working for a different company then, because we distributed EK Success, they invited us to go over to New Jersey and do this scrapbooking course. And I'm open to learning all sorts of new different things, not precious at all. And I walked in thinking, oh, this is going to be good, but I do wonder how much I'm going to learn. Oh, my word, it completely changed the way that I scrapbooked. Completely changed the way. I used to make pretty pages that looked lovely, came back, it changed the way that I taught. And I got all of the people in the class to do a journaling class. I mean, I bought loads of chocolate and loads of tissues, I'm not going to lie. And I learned more about those people that I've been teaching for 10 years than I just doing that class than I'd learned in that length of time. It was brilliant. And they all shared their stories. And that group just became a family. It was incredible to see it. It was really cool. So let's start laying out what we're going to use. Now then, somewhere on here, I have another photograph. Where's my other photograph gone? Oh, Melanie, here we go. So it begins, where have you put that photograph? Here you are. There we are. So I'm going to read you the journaling, first of all. Okay. So, dear Jack and Alice, when your great-grandma and great-granddad were first married, they lived in Manchester. They both worked really hard and bought themselves an MG BGT. They used to go for a drive just because they wanted to and loved and cherished their prized possession. They also had a tandem bike. Grandad and I used to go out on our bikes on a Sunday morning. Lots of love, Nana. So that story is written to my grandchildren for their children's children who will never meet me. And I love that. I love the way that I journal like that, because that, for me, is what scrapbooking is all about. Hannah will come with a different spin on it, and it's brilliant, and I love it, but the difference that telling the story makes. So you decide, do you want to make your photographs look pretty, or do you want to leave a legacy? That's the decision, isn't it? Right, so we're going to do what we call a double page spread. So it's 2 pages next to each other in an album. Okay, so you will have, let's get rid of all this card. You'll start with 2 pages. Now I'm going to do this upside down so that you can see it. So this is going to be my first page. This is going to be my second page. So I'm just going to move that off there so I can get to here. And what I tend to do is start off just laying things out like this. Actually, I'm really sorry, but I am going to have to do it this way because my head won't let me do it that way because I can't see where I'm laying it out. So I've got this, and then I do want to use one of these. Actually, I'm going to put this one on this side because this is the second story. That's my main focal point. And then I'm going to have another one of those just with the single mat on here as well. Okay, so we're just going to do that like that. And then I'm going to have another one just as it is, like that, probably there. So what I've created now is a design triangle. When you're doing a double page spread, you want to create that design triangle so that your eye goes across the page. As human beings, we naturally read in a Z. Okay, so we start there, we go across, we come back down here, and we come across. So that's how I guide the recipient through the page. So if I stop there and then come down here, that's where your eye will go because it'll follow that line. If I go right the way across, it will draw your eye right the way across. It's really interesting when you get started. Now, I also know that I want my journaling on here as well. So my journaling is going to go on this page and tell that story. And I get a little clip, you know, like a little push pin clip, and just push it over there to keep that flat. You can absolutely display your journaling, but the number of classes I've taught, people are like, yeah, but I don't want to see it on the page. Fine, then you can do that. Now, the other thing, and this properly made me smile when I remembered this. My mum and dad had a tandem bike, and my dad always used to sing to my mum, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. I might have to stop then because it might be copyrighted. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you look sweet upon a seat of a bicycle made for two. So I've done that as part of my journaling that's going to go on the front. So it's super, super, super personalised, and that's what I love about it. But we need to add some colour into this. So I'm going to move these off. And I don't work on very busy papers because your photograph sinks in. So what I like to do, way up, is just cut different pieces from the paper, okay? So we don't really want purple. I want the blues and the rusts in here, really. And I might use some of that as well. In fact, let's start with that one. So just take these out. They bind these really well, don't they? Take that out, there we go. Just be gentle with it. You've got the price band or the band at the top, so you don't need to worry about that. Just going to trim that off. So I'm going to use our 5-in-1 trimmer. And the reason I'm using this trimmer is because the cutting edge is right at the edge. So you know that as long as you line that paper up to that edge, which is the edge of this, you will get a good clean cut. A little bit further over. There we go. There we are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down just into random pieces. Not worried about the size or the shape. I am literally just cutting it down into pieces like this. And then I'll do a tall, slim one as well and find a space for that. Right, so I've got my 3, first of all. So let's see where these are going to go, and we'll do it a bit at a time. I need to move my car?
Yeah, I know.
My car, my car.
Can you wait 20 minutes?
No, I'm doing it now.
Amanda, do you want to recap? You recap. I'm really sorry. It's because I've got an electric car and they've come to, words.
They've broken something.
They've come to repair the charger. I'm really sorry. I will be back. I promise. And if we don't, we'll do a bit of this tomorrow as well.
Bless. Now, if you thought, are we live? Yeah.
That is a first. That's not happened before.
No, that hasn't happened before. Now, we're going to recap back to the beginning. Now, this one is called, let me just move that, Life's a Journey, okay? And it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, for your $29.99, you are getting, firstly, a double paper pack that is double-sided, okay? You're getting a double one of these. So you're not just getting this one, you're getting it twice. These on their own are $34.99, but you're getting that twice. So, and also with Graphic 45, I love that they use the packaging for other elements. Nothing is wasted. So as you can see, they are double-sided, okay? Absolutely gorgeous. Everything works together in harmony. So that is some of your papers, because I want to go down the counter because we've not got much of anything left. Then you're getting your backing papers with this. So in here, again, different, okay, you're getting different ones there. They're not the same. You've got different templates. Then it goes through all of the beautiful colourways that match what is in your first papers, okay? Absolutely stunning. So that's 3 12 by 12 paper pads. Then you're going to get your stickers. Again, brilliant, absolutely, but it doesn't stop there. Getting 2 lots of those. You're also going to get all of your cards. Now, on the back of some of these, they are double-sided and you've got your place for journaling. I'm a sucker for a postcard. I think they're fantastic. Being able to make those memories and note all of that down. So you get quite a few of these. You get 2 of everything, which I think is fantastic because you get 2 bites at the cherry, because maybe on your scrapbook page you want to put them like that. So you've got the front and the back all both together, which is amazing. All of those, and they've got beautiful quotes on there. And then you've got these smaller ones as well. So they're like a postcard. These are like a playing card. So again, but they're double-sided. Everything's double-sided, which is fantastic. Then that's not where that collection stops. You then get all of this, okay? You may have heard people speak about it as ephemera. But all of these tags and their quality, okay? And again, double-sided. So it doesn't, you've not got a white exposed piece to it. So you've got your tickets, all of these little journal pieces. Maybe you're going to put that into your journal with like little rivets. Look at the keys and everything. All of this is coming to you for $29.99. There's four left. That whole thing, 4 left, $29.99, which we've got limited stock on, and this is flying. Do you want me to carry on recapping the counter very quickly, or shall we go?
Have I got?
15 minutes.
Let's go back to Mel. Yeah?
Come on to me, please.
I'll keep cycling through the...
So you don't miss out on any of them.
I don't want you to miss out on it. Right, so I'm just going to do the same with this bicycle one, actually. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just doing it.
So there's no measurements here then, Mel?
I don't do measuring, not for scrapbooking, but I do work in the rule of threes. So you design triangle because it balances out, especially on a double page spread. Right, let's see what we've got. Used to do this on Crate and Craft, do you remember, in the old building. Old. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is edge those pieces of paper with a black marker, okay, and it just puts that initial frame around the edge. Even though I'm going on black, my brain won't let me not do it because I've done it for that many years. It's like, right, edging now. So let's do this and get these on here. Now it could be, you could tear them, these could be die cut shapes, but if you're using a shape, make sure you use it 3 times because that creates that design triangle, and that makes it read properly. Well, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's not something that we even think about, but it does make a difference to your design, you know. And it's a really clever tool. But please, if you are going to do scrapbooking, please write the story, because otherwise. And I used to do that. That was it. That's what we did. We made pretty pages, which is great if that's what you want to do. But you decide what kind of scrapbooker you want to be. Do you want to memorialise your life, or do you just want to make it pretty? Do you know what? We once did, this is very funny. We once did, we did quite a lot of them actually, classes where we taught the retailers scrapbook design course. And one lady sat there and she said, we were using EK Success Cutter Bee scissors. I said, do you like the scissors and the tweezers? She said, yeah, but I would never buy them. I said, why not? And she said, because they're not pink. And everyone in the room went, sorry, what? She said, if I find a piece of scrapbook paper that I really love, I'll go out and buy outfits for my 2 girls and my husband so that we can have the perfect photograph. The whole room went, you're kidding.
Wow.
I know, right? Right?
I have a question,
But, there's
Mel,
always
sorry.
a reason. There's always a reason why. Go on then.
You've edged all of those in black. Would you always use black?
No, it will depend on the colour of the photograph and also of the card that you're working on top of. So because I've got black in here and the tyres, and I want you to see the car, I've edged them in black. If I was working on something completely different, like the Dreamland one, I'd probably edge that in either a warm grey or a brown. And you'll know if it's creamy based, if it's got like a creamy background, then brown is a good one. It's warm, and also a warm grey. But if you're going white, I would use a cool grey pen. That makes sense. Does that answer your question? I hope it does. Right, now this one I'm going to put down here. Now I need my journaling on as well, so let's get that in place like that. So that can come. Now, what I will never do, look at the difference in this, right? So you line it up like that. Okay, and that could be on your page. Watch what happens when you just do that. Look how much more interesting it looks, right? And it's literally just moving it slightly over. Then you've got your piece down here. Now, I'm going to put another piece of this. Let's see where this is going to go. I'm not worried about where my photographs are now because they're going to go on top of this anyway. I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to put this one over there, and again I'm creating that angle, and then this one I think I'm going to pop right way around and up there like that. So I've got my journal in there, and then I can bring my photographs in. I'm going to have that photograph there, there. I'm going to change it up a bit. This is what I do all the time. I do a layout and then I'm like, oh no, actually I'm going to move it there. Usually because I forget what I did in the first place. So we'll pop that one there. Then we will have this one that can go on there. And again, I would never line that up like that. I'd always offset it. Always offset it. And then I'm going to put this one just underneath there like that. Okay. So we've got all of this going on. And then I'm going to pop that on there, and then I'm going to go into my stash. And I want Life's a Journey. The paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt. Yeah, no, I don't want that one. I want Life's a Journey.
Am I all right to read to you a little bit, Mel?
Yes, please.
Our Sarah Jane Kennedy, you girls have just triggered a memory for me. My granddad used to sing Daisy, Daisy to me when I was really little, sitting on his knee.
Right, just
How
pause
lovely.
a minute. How does that make you feel? Good, isn't it? I know, when you go back and you remember now, how many of you, when you have family over, sit with your phones and look through your photographs and reminisce and recollect? Many of you? Because I know we don't. Because we never put, I mean, I print mine off all the time, but print your photographs off. Sitting on a phone, nobody's ever going to know. Whereas if you've got an album on your coffee table and your family come round, and then you sit back, get a tape recorder and record it. Because I did that. When my grandma and my grandma passed away, my granddad passed away before her. Me and Andrew and Susie, my cousins, went to the house, and we sat there and went through all the photographs. And I had a very different story to Susie, who had a very different story to Andrew, even though it was the same, because the thought's different. And then I had a friend who, her daughter was getting married, and I said, right, she said, I want to do an album. I said, right, so go home and ask Andy, her husband, to write how he felt walking his daughter down the aisle. And then Karen needed to write how she felt watching her husband and her daughter walk. I've got goosebumps again. And it was it just changed everything. It was brilliant. And I would highly recommend that you start scrapbooking, because it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And it's no different than doing your paper craft. That's too big for that. Let's find a smaller one. It's no different to doing your normal paper craft. And if 12 by 12 scares you, start with 8 by 8. I remember one year, that's not the right colour, I don't want that. I remember one year we did a scrapbook course at the NEC many years ago, and had a lady came in and she went, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy this. I said, why not? She said, because I don't think I can fill a double page spread. I don't have that many photographs. I went, all right, come back to me at the end of the class and see how you feel then. She's like, okay. Anyway, so which she did. And halfway through the class, she sat there and we're doing this and we're doing journaling, so they're all writing. And all of a sudden she just looked up and she went, flipping heck, now I need 2 pages. So always write the stories first. That's the best tip I can give you. So write the story first, because that's the important bit, right? Once you've written the story, then see how much space you've got left for the pictures, because the story is the most important thing. And I remember when I was teaching scrapbooking, and I found this the other day and it properly made me laugh. My drink's not under there. Oh, it is. Can you just pass me a drink, love?
Yep, and I've got more to add to you as well.
So when I was little, my grandma and granddad, had a caravan at Cleveley's in Jubilee Gardens. And it was next door to a play area that had an outdoor pool and a proper little train that used to go all the way around the park. Oh, it was just fabulous. And then there was also a shop called the Trendsetter. No, it wasn't. It was a tram stop, because there was trams, obviously, because it's Cleveley's and by the seaside. So we went to the tram stop, and my mum decided to buy me. She was going to. The only way I can describe them is Rupert Bear trousers, but they were cream with blue and red check, right? And it was warm. And I don't do warm at the best of times. And they were cream with these stripes, and I'm walking along and I can feel them rubbing on the tops of my legs, and I can feel it getting worse and worse and worse. And eventually I'm in tears because I'm only this high, and I'm like, I don't like it. And my mum's like, you'll be fine, just come on, let's get on with it. Come on, we've got things to do. I'm like, but it really hurts, Mum. And then when I took them off at night, she was mortified. But my point of this is, she did an album for me. And she wrote in the album, we had a fabulous time at the tram stop today. Melanie got some lovely new trousers, and she's very happy with them. And I'm like, no. So I added to that journal and I went, yes, that's what you think. However, this is the reality. And that's the fun bit, because you can do that.
That's
lots of different stuff. Right, I've got a few little bits and bobs I'm just going to add in. Do you want to read, Amanda?
I can, yeah. Maria Bowen.
Hi,
My
Marina.
mum and dad had a tandem bike. No photo, unfortunately, but they used to cycle to, I'm going to say Llangollen and back near Birmingham on a Sunday.
Yeah, fabulous.
Tess, I write a diary of each day during holidays and
Brilliant.
include the diary pages in my scrapbooks, occasionally rewriting if scruffy.
Yeah, that's all right.
Carol, my parents sadly no longer with us,
No,
also
mine
had a
either.
tandem, and I've got photos plus a few funny stories. Must get into this scrapbooking. They
Yes.
cycled many miles around Staffordshire and
Yes,
Derbyshire.
please. Right, I'm going to. How long have I got, Andrew?
We've got 3 minutes.
Right, finish that sentence, and then I'm going to tell you a little.
So we've got our lovely Maria. My dad used to sing You Are My Sunshine to me every night. It still brings a tear to my eye as he passed away in 2007. And our lovely Alison. Oh, here we go. You've started something now, Mel.
Well, I do when I do.
Any
scrapbooking.
chance of running a course, Mel?
I'd love to, but right now, in this moment, I cannot physically fit anything else into my day. Literally, I would love to, and maybe one day when we've got, a few more members of staff. But right now, in this moment,
Tis why I am making notes.
Now then, I'm going to tell you a little story before we finish. So Shane, who taught us, was a groomsman at his best friend's wedding, and he had a little girl. Sorry, this is all moving around now. Blinking egg. Wanted it to look lovely and nice and neat and tidy. Look at that. Let's move that over there. There's your double page spread. And they had this little flower girl, and she was tiny, little dot, and she was told that whatever rose petals she had left in her basket at the end of the day, she could keep. So if you look at me now, she walked down the aisle like this. One at a time, because she wanted to save them.
Yeah.
There's only about 8 of them down the aisle, but she got up to the altar and she stepped up the steps and she had black patent shoes on and she slipped. Oh. And these rose petals went everywhere. This kid was hysterical. He said the minister, the groomsman, the best man, the bridesmaids were all on their hands and knees picking up these rose petals, but the photographer didn't get a picture. Now, that's a story within that wedding day. So Shane did an album and said, right, this is a story behind that photograph. And that's the thing, you don't have to have a picture. You can still tell that story. You can imagine, can't you, in 100 years' time, your great-great-great-grandchildren or your nieces or your nephews or whoever it is in your family will have no idea what it was like to live through COVID. So it's our job to tell them.
Through the whole hour that we've been doing this, I've got so many goosebumps. I've got goosebumps on top of my goosebumps at the minute.
Amazing thing to do.
Because of, and it's quite a powerful thing to do, don't you think?
Oh, it's incredibly powerful. And for me, it's incredibly healing.
Yes.
We had a lady who came on and she did an album on a class. She came and did an album for her daughter. And her daughter was adopted. Oh. And for the first time in 10 years I've been teaching her, we did the journaling and she stood up and she told the story, and her daughter had asked her why there were never photographs of her as a baby. And she said, because we didn't know whether we'd get to keep you or not. Mm. So they got her at 8 weeks old, and at 12 months, the decision was whether they could adopt her or not. They did, but that was the story. And that's important. And then she started writing the journaling to her daughter, and that's for me, that's the best way to journal. And if you want to journal about a place like somewhere like New York, Think about the senses. You smell, touch, taste, all of that. Right, we've got to go. I'm really sorry. But come, stay next.
We're drawing a
draw a
winner.
winner. What are we going to give away?
You want to spin the wheel real quick?
Spin the wheel, Amanda. You'll get more scrapbooking tomorrow morning with me. Janice Mapleston. What are we giving her?
6. 500 points.
500 points.
Well done.
That's a
You're
good start
welcome.
to your Friday. You're very welcome. Right, I'm going next door now to work with Stephanie. I'll see you in a bit.